How is everyone feeling about Donald Trump officially being under arrest? That guy from Home Alone 2? Wow, just goes to show you really never can tell. Annoyed Donald Trump is back in the news. Honestly asking here, has there been a point in the last 8 years where he wasn't in the news? Edit, sup dudes, I'm not saying he has been the headline for every outline every day. My point is I see an article focused around him or relating to him almost daily. I'm in Europe, so admittedly I'm not sure how it's been in the US. But it's more that you could finally avoid him if you wanted to. He was banned from social media platforms which drastically reduced clickbait articles about him. And aside from his role in the uprising at the White House, he wasn't a top story very often, and it felt like there were many consecutive weeks, if not months, where he was nothing more than an afterthought thrown into the odd piece here and there. It was nice for all the noise to go away so we could start concentrating on the signal again. Edit, apology, capital, not White House. Poor error on my part. Nobody is above the law. That's what we are told, now it's time to prove it. Unless you are rich, famous, an athlete, hold a position of power, or know the right people. But other than that, no one is above the law. Yeah, the reality is there are people above the law. People with enough money to own the bogus legal system. They aren't taking a mug shot because, who doesn't know his face? Like that's a reason? So if they arrest Bianca, there'd be no mugshot? It's bullshit. What I like is the counter-argument about Hunter Biden whatevers. Like bruh, if he also is breaking the law, arrest him too IDGAF. None of us have a cult-like relation to any politician the way these Trump supporters do. This opens the door for any former president to be prosecuted. Oh, nice. Promise? This opens the door for any former president to be prosecuted. Okay then. That was always allowed. Great, if there's enough evidence of them committing crimes they should be prosecuted. Maybe it will send a message to future presidents to, not commit crimes? Amazing how people say this like it's a bad thing. It's the whole point of your ducking country that everyone is equal under the law, everyone. They say it as a scare tactic thinking that the way they're obsessed with Trump is the way everyone else is with ex-president. I saw one on Twitter who tried to use the argument, well, how would you react if Obama was arrested? I actually had someone at work say something along those lines. To which I said great, if there were sufficient evidence to bring him up under charges and get him arrested, it'd be 100% behind that decision. That man took a breath as if he was ready to argue. Stopped. Blinked real hard and just kinda stopped. It was bizarre, as if he couldn't grasp that I'm not nearly as obsessed over a politician as he is. I couldn't care less about this one. What I would like to see him get arrested for is the phone call he made to GA officials telling them to find him votes. I'm with you here. He should be tried for all crimes, but I really wish they'd actually nail him for the really egregious ones. Hopefully these crimes will remove him from the category of no prior convictions when it comes to sentencing for the really egregious crimes. I've been hurt before. Oh come on baby, we live in a country where rule of law matters and actions have consequences. Never again am I trusting my heart to Lady Justice. Lady Justice signed an NDA. Lady Justice is sometimes kinda like that meme of the puppet looking sus. I just want him to go away. Not die, just go the duck away. No more interviews or rallies. No more MAGA incels and hillbillies. Just go the fuck away. And yet he's apparently raking in the dollar because of this shit and apparently has some sort of speech planned for tonight. Uck. If the judge throws a gag order on him, he gets another charge for violating it less than 12 hours after his arraignment. I'll never stop laughing. That's the real popcorn munching event. This will probably age poorly, since Hess trashing the presiding judge on social media. It makes one wonder if Trump will get some sort of sanction for that. Contempt of court, often referred to simply as contempt, is the crime of being disobedient to or disrespectful toward a court of law and its officers in the form of behavior that opposes or defies the authority, justice, and dignity of the court. He's 100% doing things that count as contempt of court, and this judge has the right to toss him in jail for a few days for it, or deny bail. Which will make him all the more popular. The martyr complex is strong on the right. While not true, or at least, bending the truth so far it looks like a pretzel, I predict the following talking points if those happen. They are suppressing his free speech. They are afraid of what he has to say. Look what the liberal judge did. You can't trust the justice system anymore. Trump is a political prisoner. He'll rake in millions for this. Yeah, that's shitty, but not a reason to not do it. He can be a sleaze and benefit like he always does, but he'll be a sleaze with an actual record of committing and being found guilty of crimes. I just wish more people understood that he's being charged for things that he did before he became president, for using campaign money as his own piggy bank, something politicians are frequently accused of, but rarely seem to be held accountable for. Of course, I don't expect anyone to change their opinion of the man, or their potential vote. That ship has long sailed. Edit, we have better information now and I was wrong. For the indictments, the hush money payments continued through 2017. I thought all the stuff with Cohen's trial happened before then. Apparently covering up evidence of a crime as a business expense is frowned upon. The charge isn't for using campaign funds. The problem is if you use money to pay for something for the benefit of your campaign, it has to be accounted for, and if it wasn't accounted for, that's a campaign finance violation. Let's wait and see what all the other charges are, but that specific charge likely won't lead to anything more than a fine. More specifically, it's falsifying the records by marking them incorrectly to hide them, and the charges were upgraded to felonies because they were falsified in order to hide or further another crime, presumably the campaign finance crime, which would likely be federal. Read the statement of facts, and it seems the crux is Trump filed his payments to Cohen as a legal expense for retainer in 2017, while the state is arguing Cohen was not on retainer and have concluded it was to repay him or silencing at least one, if not three, stories after Trump had announced his candidacy but before the election. Any law dude's able to tell me if retainers can only exist if they're filed in writing or if they can exist as a handshake deal? I genuinely don't know. But seems like the payments to catch and kill are misdemeanors that are being upgraded to a felony because of the false filing while claiming they were to affect the election. Great. Now let's start going after all politicians and other government officials. Wait until he actually faces any consequences before scaring our elected officials, otherwise they'll do everything they can to prevent it. Well, this is actually why the Trump thing is pretty much unprecedented. Historically, they have rarely gone after each other for anything because if we really wanted to, we could put most all of them in prison for one thing or another. Yeah, that thing. Let's do that. Maybe Trump's promise to drain the swamp might be eventually actually fulfilled due to his own actions setting these precedents. It would be so ducking ironic, and hilarious, if this lead to a whole shitload of arrests of corrupt AF politicians which lead to positive political reform. His arrest is pretty meaningless. Hell, either delay forever or plead out and pay some minor fine. I can't envision a world where, if he is imprisoned, he doesn't spend out his stay at a prison golf course and spend his nights posting on his Truth account. Otisville, the prison he would probably end up at, even offers a system where inmates can spend a week outside of prison with their families. Tennis courts, television, vending machines, you name it. He'll suddenly be too sick and old for jail, just like Harvey Weinstein tried to pull. Well, find out he's had dementia for a while, or he just got it, and a whole host of other issues. It has worked for him before. In 1968 he was conveniently diagnosed with a bone spur in his ankle, causing him to be ineligible for the draft, and was able to dodge it 5 times. Why not use such a tried and true method? Can't stand the guy, but it's embarrassing and pathetic that our governmental institutions let this get this far out of hand. The guardrails seem flimsy, but now it's obvious that they always were. It's imperative that we develop some sort of reforms to avoid this circus from ever happening again. Otherwise, it's just a matter of time before someone far worse gains the full might and power of the presidency. I agree. I want all politicians to start being held accountable and forced to follow the same laws the rest of us have to abide by. Let this be the start of it. I don't care if it's Biden, or Hillary or MTG, I want them all held accountable if they commit crimes. I hope the charges stick and that we never hear about this obese traffic cone again. I'm at a local bar where 99 days out of 100 the TV is on Fox News. Today it's on FKN Jeopardy, the other days it's usually just off. No one is watching, at all. Time to find a new bar, my dude. Who the hell plays Fox News 247 at bars? People are there to get drunk, not listen to Muppets. I'd be annoyed as shit if they played CNN or MSNBC too. That's just weird as hell.